Smile for the camera, doggies. G'day everyone, my name's Dodema. I'm here with a quick guide to the recent update for UEVR Enhancements, the Satisfactory VR mod. I recently released version 1.0.3, which added a few new small features that may not be completely obvious when you first load up. So this is a guide to quickly go over those and give you a bit of a demo of what they are. So the first enhancement is adding a Build HUD to the heads-up display to help people while they're building. Now, I'm a big fan of zero HUD in VR, which is why by default you don't get anything. And usually all the information you need is on these wrist menus here. So if you're wondering about controls, for example, all of these actions here, it actually tells you what the controls are right there. There's also hints on the back of the wrists that tell you what controls do what, and these will change based on what build mode you're in. So if I press the lower left button there to get into dismantle mode, you can see the options on the back change, and the menu here changes to say I'm in dismantle mode. So similarly, if I'm building, the icons will change. It'll go into build mode here and it'll tell you all about what you're building. If you change mode, it's all shown right here. But a lot of people, including myself, just tend to have their hands by their side and they're just pressing buttons and they're wondering what's going on, because there's not really any feedback right in front of you. So to help beginners and also to help advanced people, I've added a Build HUD. So this is on by default. I've turned it off for this intro, but it can be changed either to on or off over here. So there's this new option to show build state in HUD. By default, this will be on while building. You can have it so it only shows when you have the full HUD active. This is when you hold your hand to the side of your head and press script to toggle the HUD. Or you can turn it off completely if you really don't want it. But by default, it's on while building, and I think this is a good setting for new people, but also, like even me who's got, many hundreds of hours in VR, it's actually a useful new tool. So now, if I press that button on the left to go into dismantle mode, there's now a pop-up on the interface that says, hey, you're in dismantle mode. So it's a bit of instant feedback to say what you're currently doing. So if I start building, it'll show you I'm in build mode. I've actually got Zoop turned on at the moment. So if I turn Zoop off, that's shown. So the information shown is showing the minimum information possible. But if there's any custom setting like Zoop mode or anything like that, that will show up on the interface here. If I press the top left button to enter nudge mode, you can see the HUD changes to show nudge. I should make that say lock because not everything can be nudged, but everything locks. And I'll probably do that in a new update. But for now it says nudge, and basically means it's locked. So now you're in nudge mode and you can nudge things around. Okay, that leads us to the next new feature, which is a new way to rotate buildings when you're building something. So let me just come in here and let's say we're building a constructor. And it's like, well, I don't want it this way around. I want the entry point on the right and the output on the left. So there's a number of different ways you can rotate buildings. The first and oldest way is shown on the menu here, which is the right stick and you press down. So when you press down on the right stick, it shows this little indicator of how you can rotate. So then as you rotate things, you can see for each nudge, it rotates around one click. So to rotate it from this way to the other way, nope, not that way, back like there, and now it's rotated the right way around. In 1.0 we added radial menus, and so another way to rotate was using the top left button on the left controller. So if you hold this button, you now get a radial menu, which is a lot more intuitive and easier to use for most rotations. So it's very easy, you just pick whatever you want. So if I want this reversed around the other way, I know that I can just hold that button down, move my hand up to the top, which is 180 degrees, and now we're rotated the other way around. Now the new method is both more complicated and simpler. So first, see how I've got the snap icon on the left hand there? If I hold that button down, I'm in snap mode, but I also have this new hint that says I can rotate by pressing left and right. So I can just go over here and press left twice and I've rotated, or I can press right twice and I've rotated. So no accidentally rotating more or less than you want. Like if I hold left, it just does one rotate, that's it. So you can very precisely rotate exactly how much you want. So let me just put this down here. So this is great for things like even things that don't have a snap mode. For example, if I'm putting a lift down, lifts don't have snap. But if I was building here like this, and it's like, well, that output is in the wrong way. I can hold snap even though lifts don't have a snap mode. And then I can use that left and right to rotate things around. So it's really useful, you know, if you're putting down conveyor splitters. Let's put one down at the front. Actually, let's put a merger down. So let's go merger. And it's like, well, that's the wrong way around. I can hold down snap, press across, and usually I will lock it into place and nudge it to where I want. But I can very easily hold that snap button and rotate it around. So this works for putting down foundations as well. So by normal, if you use this R down menu, you can rotate 45 degrees. And if I use the rotate menu here, it will do 45 degrees. But the problem is if I hold snap down, it's not 45 degrees, it's actually 5 degrees, because this actually does have a snap mode that affects the rotation, which is really good if you want to rotate something by 5 degrees. You know, if you're trying to get that precise thing. So let me just reset it back to the start. So say I'm here and I want to go 15 degrees, I just go left 15. I can lock it in place to make sure it's in the right place. Yeah, looks good, build it. Oops, done. But what if I want to do 45 degrees, but I don't want snap mode on? Well, what you can do is you can hold rotate, and as you can see on the HUD up there, it says now I can rotate, but because I'm not in snap mode, the left stick, right stick rotation is 45 degrees. So I can still rotate with the radial menu here. So it's a good idea to just load it and then move your hand lower down. So if you're in here, you'll change angle very easily, but if you move your hands off to the side, it takes a lot bigger motion to hold it. So hand straight down, and then you can use your right stick to rotate by 45 degrees. So the third new feature in the mod is support for photo mode. So you can get to photo mode a few different ways. First way is through this little icon on your left panel here. If you can't remember that, or you're not sure, under the info panel there's a big photo button here. And when you click on this, this will now go into the Satisfactory photo mode. So you can look around, and the viewfinder is not exactly the same as what you'll take a photo of, because the camera in VR is different from the camera of the game. But I can just look around and I can use right trigger. So down the bottom there, right trigger will take a photo. So it's like, that's a nice constructor, let's take a photo there. And so we can just look around very easily and take photos. And we can use all the settings. So if we wanted to change this, and let's go into an outline mode. Actually, let's not quite go in outline mode yet. Let's change some settings here, just some really random settings like this. Then you can look and say, well, there's a portal over there. Let's take a photo of that in this mode there. And there's a bean. Hello, bean. Now, the other great thing about this is you can also use decoupled camera mode. So you press the top left button, or the Y button here, and now I am in decoupled mode, and I can fly around like this outside of my body. So let me just open the settings, and I'm going to reset there, so we're on basic settings. And then I'm going to fly over here to these doggos and take some nice natural shots of the doggos in their environment. And my shadows are going a bit odd there. Smile for the camera, doggies. Let's go over here. Yeah, let's not bother with the bean. Bean's just doing something to that van over there. But you can also do poses for your Pioneer. And why is my shadow mode going Burko? So let's come in here and Pioneer. Let's do a pose. And let's go look into the camera. It's like Yeah, whoops, okay, exited camera mode. No, my mistake. Let's try that again. So I've got follow camera on, so wherever I'm looking, the Pioneer will look around and follow as I take photos. It doesn't go too far, obviously. But it's the same as the normal flat mode, it's just now you can do all your photography, or most of your photography, in VR. And also, as I alluded to before, you can also change these image settings. So if you want, you can go to something like outline mode or crosshash or VHS. You can take photos of a bean in VHS mode. Or what else we got? Now, some of these look great in VR and some of them look terrible in VR. But you can do, like, what we got? Noir mode. Noir mode's pretty good. And then you can turn the settings off. You can actually press A to hide, B to hide the user interface. So you've got full HUD gone, and then you can fly around in noir mode, which is interesting because it still has a bit of red. That's just, and then you can take a noir shot of the majestic bean standing on the control panel. It's interesting how just red bleeds through. I wonder if that's intentional, the noir effect. So that is the UEVR Enhancements version 1.0.3 update. Hope this was useful. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.